Hey, welcome to our Friday afternoon broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're catching this live, we always appreciate you being here. Please take a second in the comment section to leave us a comment so we know you are here. And if you are jumping on our recorded broadcast, either on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, welcome as well. We always appreciate when you guys take the time to check in with us, and we want to know you were there as well. So please leave us a comment there as well. We go back and answer all questions and comments in the feed. So today we are going to talk about how we are going to celebrate Mother's Day and give you guys some suggestions on how you can incorporate some intermittent fasting and keto-like lifestyle habits into your Mother's Day this year as well. If you are new to us, my name is Diane, and this is my husband,
Michael.
And on this channel, we like to incorporate what we're doing as a couple with our intermittent fasting and keto-like lifestyle, as well what we're doing within the confines of our family, and really how we're living our most authentic life together now that we've kind of changed what we're doing as far as how we work out, how we feast, and how we fast. We love celebrating holidays, but we have found that for our family, really creating boundaries and creating our own style of celebration has really helped our family overall, as well as what it is that we want to have for our own personal goals. So we really want to share with you some of the things that we've incorporated, but more specifically with Mother's Day. I always feel that as a mother, and as a woman, we should really have the opportunity to celebrate Mother's Day the way we want to celebrate Mother's Day. So, Michael, how have we gotten to that point of celebrating Mother's Day in a way that really is based on what I want to do for Mother's Day?
Well, let's go back to the days when I used to think I knew what you wanted. I'm a big Godiva fan. Well, not anymore. I used to be. I used to love Godiva chocolate, and I used to think, well, God, some good Godiva chocolate and some flowers, and maybe a necklace or something, and you're doing all this stuff without asking. So what I've learned now today, present day, is you ask, okay, what is it that you want to do? So you can bypass any kind of hurt feelings or eating at brunches you don't want to be at. Sometimes we like to wake up and exercise or go for a long walk, or there's a lot of things we like to do on certain holidays like Mother's Day and Father's Day. So yeah, that's kind of what we changed to is pretty much asking the question and not assuming, because you can easily assume what your spouse wants for Mother's Day, or what your mom wants, or your grandma, or whatever, and you're making these huge assumptions, and
usually based off what?
Based on what
you want.
Yeah. Well, it's not based on really what the husband or the man wants, but it's what you think this is what's going to make her happy. I'm going to run out. I'm going to run out Saturday night and get the car to get this, get some flowers, or, you don't have to do all that. You just need to ask, okay, what is it you want to do?
So he asked me, like he does every year now that he's learned the hard way.
Now that I've been smacked straight.
And I said exactly what I want to do on Mother's Day. I want to get up, I want to rally up our kids and our dog, and I want to go for a really long walk, and then I want to come back and have brunch at home the way we like to have brunch. And so that's exactly what we're going to do on Mother's Day. And I think I might have thrown in a little extra thing for the kids, like just don't get on my nerves kind of thing on Mother's Day. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. And we are going to have a Sunday brunch. We're going to make our paleo avocado toast, and Michael and I are going to partake in probably a little bit of a mimosa, which the way we make mimosas, and we're going to hang out in the sun in the backyard and just kick it. And stay within our own boundaries that we now actually love. So we're not making any sort of sacrifices to celebrate Mother's Day, and I'm going to get exactly what I want. I don't want gifts. I don't want what, the Hallmark type of things for Mother's Day. Like, I could care less if I even get a card. Like, those things aren't important to me. What's important to me is time with my family and chilled out time with our family, because we're so busy and we've got people going in all kinds of different directions, that I just want to slow down on Sunday and be at home and be where we're comfortable and be where we can kind of be ourselves without any kind of pressure. And I was sharing with Michael how I used to work in the restaurant business. So I used to be a bartender and I used to be a food server. And we always dreaded working on Mother's Day, which you would think would be like a great day to work because it's super busy and you can make all kinds of money and tips. But we really dreaded working on Mother's Day when I was in the food industry, because it was like the saddest day for a lot of people, because either you were pissed off because you had to spend the day with your mother-in-law, or you and your husband were fighting about the kids, or the wife really didn't want to go out to brunch or the mother didn't really want to go out to brunch because it was like too hyped up and it was too much work and all she wanted to do was relax. And it was sort of like this forced event. And so many families were fighting and the women looked always like they were pissed off. And I always said to myself, like, I don't ever want to be that mom. I don't want to be that mom that's getting drug out to some busy brunch and having to wait, for a table to be ready for an hour, or some overpriced place or whatever. I wanted to really spend Mother's Day authentically. And that's a big thing for my life, is living it authentically. And so that's what we're going to do. Because Michael asked and he's honoring my request, we're going to do exactly what it is that I want to do on Mother's Day. And that's take a long walk with my family, come home and have a really simple brunch and have a mimosa and lay out in the sun. So if you're on our email list, or if you're not on our email list, we highly recommend that you get on the email list, because what we are going to be doing this weekend, if you're new to us, is sending out our paleo avocado toast recipe and how we make mimosas that keep us in our keto-like lifestyle. So you'll want to make sure you've gotten that. And if you've taken our course before, you've been on our email list, you've already gotten that information. So just go back to that. You'll already have it. And then we also offered to our email list as well a little special for Mother's Day. So make sure that you're on that list, or you check your emails this weekend, because we got a nice little surprise in there if you've never taken a course with me before. So how are we going to handle having brunch when we intermittent fast? So we usually don't even break our fast till later in the afternoon, but on Mother's Day, I will probably also enjoy a nice creamy cup of coffee, the way we kind of learned how to make our own kind of fat coffee at home that we really enjoy. So I'll have that as well. And I won't fast in the morning hours because we want to partake in brunch. And so what we do on those kind of, events is we reverse our fasting window and take advantage of kind of flipping the timetables. So we'll get up, right? We'll do our coffee probably before we go for our walk. How are we going to reverse things so we can stay within the confines of what we like to do nutritionally, but still enjoy our authentic brunch schedule?
Well, all the food will be stuff that we like to eat, as far as the paleo bread and the avocado and the eggs over easy, and so everything nutrition-wise will be great. But what we do time-wise is we go from brunch to straight into our fast. Straight into our fast from our brunch, and then we don't eat until the next day. So that way we can enjoy brunch and,
not feel like you're overeating or you don't know when to start your fast today. So what we do is we'll get up Sunday morning and we'll have we dirty fast. So we'll have our fat coffee the way we like to make it. Then we'll go for our walk, and then we'll come back and we'll prepare our brunch and eat. So I don't know, it could be like 11 or 12. So really not even that big of a deal. We're not really sacrificing too much of our fasting time, but we'll probably eat heavier food, or probably more food than we're used to that early in the day. And we probably won't even feel hungry for dinner. So instead of feeding a fed body, which I always suggest you don't do, we'll skip dinner on Sunday nights, and then we go right into our fast, and then we'll fast into Monday, and then probably break our fast a little earlier on Monday. So you kind of just slowly get back into your fasting routine just by shaving off a couple hours here and there. So we won't skip a beat. We'll be right back into what we need to do for the week, which really does help you get into that mode of allowing some windows of opportunity to celebrate. And yes, we are a society that celebrates around food and drink, so that's just the reality of life. But you can manipulate what you're doing when you're not in celebration mode to keep you in what you want to have for your life. That's what we call the authentic part. So we'll enjoy our brunch. Who knows when we'll finish our brunch. And then we'll kind of just designate that as our new fast time. Fast all of Sunday night, most of Monday morning. When we feel that trigger that we want to break our fast, we won't even hesitate. We'll break it. We'll go a little bit earlier into Monday. So have a longer fast feasting window on Monday, then close it out. And by Tuesday, we'll be right back on track. This also allows your body to process through whatever it is you're celebrating with on a holiday. So we don't have to feel, like we have to hesitate about what we want to enjoy. We have food boundaries, so we're not going to do anything that's going to send, especially me, into some hormonal nightmarish imbalance for a week or two where I'm feeling horrible about my body or horrible about me or horrible about my people because I'm just grumpy. So I don't want to ever do that. We have our boundaries with food, but we're going to open up those boundaries a little bit as far as our fasting and feasting time and maybe even the quantity of food that we eat. Who knows, maybe even not go there. We really do let our body lead what we want to do. And then we just create what's going to make us happy as far as the events go.
Yeah, and it keeps you from being guilty about a celebration or event. I mean, we have all kinds of stuff coming up. We have high school graduation and we have all kinds of award events and stuff that we're going to be doing, but we'll do it all in the confines of how we celebrate, and it's not like, days in the past where you would celebrate, throw yourself off track or feel guilty about doing something that is a celebration. Why are you ever going to feel guilty about a celebration, whether it be Mother's Day, Father's Day, or whatever you're celebrating? Why would you ever feel guilty about that?
Right. So here's a tip too. Maybe you're the person that's going to celebrate someone else. So if you're going to go celebrate, let's say your mother or an aunt or someone who's like a mother figure to you or whoever it is. So you're not the one that gets to make the decision about how the day goes and you're going to another event. What do you do then? So in that case, what we do is we go and we're fully conscious of ourselves when we're there. We're 100% in everything that's going on, but we still stay within our boundaries. And that was the big aha moment I had for myself when Michael and I used to do date night back before I made all these great emotional connections with what was going on in my life and me and decisions I was making. And I would say, oh, it's date night. I'll eat the pizza and drink the beer. And then the next day I would wake up and I would feel miserable and feel so regretful about what we celebrated with on date night. And then I realized that that's so not fair to the person that you're spending time with. Like I just regretted everything that we just, shared in a life experience on a date. And when I realized that, no, I can have date night with my husband and not eat what he was eating. I didn't have to eat that kind of pizza. I could have a gluten-free pizza or a salad, and I didn't have to have a beer. I could have had, bubbly water or a margarita or something else. And so even if you're going to go celebrate someone else and you don't necessarily have full control over what's going to unravel, you still have choices or the power to make the best choices for you. And I guarantee you, wherever it is your family is deciding to have dinner or deciding to go have brunch, or if you're having it at someone's house, there's something there that you can find that will keep you within your own food boundaries, or you bring a dish that is within your own food boundaries, and then you stay with your own dish. And then that way, again, you're not spending the next day like, oh, I had a miserable time yesterday doing XYZ, when you have the power to make choices that are the best for you. Don't give that responsibility to someone else, especially when they're probably not even asking you for that responsibility. That's when you have to kind of just pull your big girl pants up and just go, okay, I need to make the best decision for me right now, regardless of what other people are doing. That's their business. I need to do what's best for me, and it's not our responsibility to eat other people's food. So you make the grown-up decisions for yourself, knowing what options you have and what food makes you feel what certain way. And then you're happy with the people that you're spending time with. And the next day, all you're going to think about are the amazing memories you just made, and not how guilty you feel about the horrible choices that you made the day before.
Yep, absolutely.
And then what's happened now with our date night is Michael's realized some of the things he was eating before weren't making him feel good either. So now we're on the same page with the way that with what we do. And we do a lot of different things about date night too, where we're not always so focused on just food. So that's another thing, is that Mother's Day doesn't have to be a food holiday. Go walk with someone, call one of your girlfriends up and go for a run, or ask your husband to take you to a movie, or do something that maybe isn't always so centered around food, and kind of break that family tradition. I know in our family, we've broken so many traditional traditions, and we've created our own. We always laugh that when our kids get married, they're going to freak out when they see like a ham at Thanksgiving or something, because we just don't eat ham. Or they're going to freak out when they see an entire cookie or an entire turkey cooked and put on a platter, because we just don't eat that at Thanksgiving. We've created our own family traditions, and we're fine with that. And so
just do a turkey breast, and we're not throwing away, dealing with all these bones and all this stuff that we end up throwing out. So
right. So don't be afraid to make your own traditions as well. So let me see who's on and see if there's any questions. And if you guys have anything that you want to get an answer to, maybe a tip or a trick about something, definitely ask us, and we'll definitely share some advice for you. Let's see. Cindy, hello, girlfriend. Sandy, excited that I just completed my very first 24-hour fast, feasting well now. Sandy, that's awesome. So I'm guessing you're doing like a 1 meal a day type of thing, Sandy? Debbie, how do you make your fat coffee? Debbie, you have to email me. I don't ever talk about that stuff like openly, because then I can't be responsible for what people are going to go do on their outside. So email me and I'll share with you what we've been experimenting with in our fat coffee. Sheila, hello. And then Cynthia, hey, good to have you here. Okay, so the way we're celebrating Mother's Day this weekend, and what I'm going to do for Mother's Day is my loving husband asked me. He asked me what I want to do for Mother's Day, and I was very honest with him in my answer. So that's another thing too. Someone's going to care enough about you to ask you what you want, then be honest with them, and don't try to be appeasing just to make someone else happy. I told them exactly what I wanted. I want to get up. I want to have some coffee. I want to go for a walk with my kids and my dog and my husband. And I want to come home and have a brunch that we make at home. And then I want to hang out in the backyard. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to change our fasting schedule a little bit to accommodate the change in what we're doing on Sunday. And that's totally one of the most beautiful things about intermittent fasting, is you can intermittently change that and be very flexible with it as well. So I'm super excited about this weekend. We're going to have a great weekend. Michael's also taking me shopping, so that's going to be fun too. And it's just going to be a super fun weekend, and I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it, as opposed to past years when I've sort of dreaded it and was like, ugh, what are we going to have to do this weekend? Only do what you want to do, and then make the choices that are going to make you feel your best. It's not your responsibility to eat other people's foods. It's not your responsibility to follow other people's traditions that maybe don't go in line with what it is that you want for your life. And it is your responsibility to speak up when someone's asking you what you want, and be honest with them so that you can get exactly what it is that you're asking for.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we are going to be sending out the paleo avocado toast recipe to our new email list people. So you'll get that if you haven't gotten it before, as well as the video we made when we were on vacation, when we shared our little tip and trick on how you can enjoy a mimosa and not go completely off the sugar bandwagon and then end up feeling bad the next day because you just consumed too much sugar. So we'll get that out for you guys as well. And I think that's also on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out there. And then if you've never taken one of our courses before and you're on our email list, or you're not on our email list and you want to get on our email list, do that, because we have a special Mother's Day surprise for all of you as well. So you want to check those inboxes this weekend for sure. Thanks so much for joining us today. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Have an awesome Mother's Day.
Have an awesome Mother's Day, and then we'll check in with you guys on Monday. If you need anything from us, always feel free to email us as well.
Enjoy your weekend.